This podcast is about how to put sound effects or add sound to your animated film. We're going to start with Toon Boom and how to add sound effects and sounds into Toon Boom. The first thing we'll do is go out on your web browser and Google free sound effects. When the replies come up, click on one of them that offers free sound effects, say this one. And when the sound effects load, we'll take, for example, door sounds and maybe creaky door 2. And that sounds pretty good. To download this sound effect, follow the instructions, right-click on this link, and download the linked file as, and I'm just going to save mine to my desktop. Once in Toon Boom Studio, go up to your workspace list and pull down to the drawing workspace. In your exposure sheet, click on the icon, the third icon here with the musical note and plus sign to add a sound element to your movie and your exposure sheet. Then right-click or control-click in the first cell of that element, and a menu bar will come up that will allow you to import the sound file. Click on Import Sound File. Then navigate up to where your sound file is. I downloaded creakydoor2.wav. And in terms of formats, Toon Boom can utilize any sound format that QuickTime does. So basically, if your sound plays on a Mac, then you can be sure it will work in Toon Boom. And then once you navigate to your sound file, click Open. Okay, this will load your sound file into the exposure sheet window in the sound. You'll note that your sound fills up as many frames as it is long. That is, the duration of the sound takes up as many frames as the length of the sound. In my case, the sound element is 25 frames long. If I want to shorten that is edit the sound, or put in a fade in or fade out, I can right-click or control-click on the sound element and pull down to the Edit Sound menu item. Once in the sound element editor, I can click anywhere in this waveform to load that sound into the editor window. If I want to trim off the sound, I can come here to the end and then simply grab this yellow end marker and drag that to the left, say to frame 20, to trim off a bit of my sound. And you can see that change is reflected in the editor window below. If I want to change the volume of the sound, I can pull the slider to the left or right and change the volume of that sound. But I can also change that sound volume over time or animate the sound volume. For example, to include a fade, to have the sound fade itself out towards the end. To do that, I click on the blue line in the middle of the editor window to add a control point, a sound volume control point. I'm going to leave that control point here about the middle of the second creak, and then I'm going to click in the top blue area again on that line to add another control point. I'm going to pull that control point down to 0, to the flat bottom part of the sound volume control, and I'm going to do that right before it hits the end of the sound. So basically the sound will come in at full volume, play along here at full volume, hit this control point here, and then fade down to 0. When you're happy with all the changes in your editor window, with all your changes to this sound, you can click OK, and you'll note that those changes have been reflected in the sound element in the exposure sheet. For example, this sound now ends at frame 20, or it persists until frame 19, and then it's gone. Now I can go back to my drawing window and add all the drawings I'll need to have the animation persist through the duration of the sound. In this case, I need 19 frames of a door creaking in order to get my sound animated. And here's our final sound with the animation.